The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Carol Kido Jr.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, US and PNG defense ties strengthened, Morobe MPs called to partner with SJA, and Lihir League in Round 11 season proper. A three-day workshop on anti-corruption is underway in Kokopo, East New Britain Province. The workshop is on corruption risk assessment and mitigation plans for the provincial governments.
The anti-corruption workshop, currently underway in East New Britain Province, is a continuation of the first workshop on corruption risk assessment and management for representatives from the public sector agencies. Organized by UNDP under the PNG Anti-Corruption Project, the workshop is funded by European Union and implemented by UNDP and UNODC. The workshop's objective is to identify key corruption risks in the selected departments and to start preparing mitigation strategies. According to UNDP Chief Technical Advisor in Anti-Corruption, Halma Sedler, the workshop is aimed at strengthening the government's commitment and capacities to address corruption to effectively progress the Sustainable Development Goals for the benefit of all Papua New Guineans and to support the network of non-state actors in their anti-corruption. She said the project under the PNG Anti-Corruption will support the drafting of the corruption risk assessment and management methodology. She said East New Britain is the first province out of 4 to host the workshop with a fair representation from different government departments in the province. The project is part of the EU-PNG Partnership for Good Governance. It is expected that the participants will continue with development of the mitigation plans under the workshop with assistance from UNDP. The validation workshops will be held in the next 6 months. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Minister for Labour and Employment Kesi Sawang is calling on the resource industry in the country to have clear commitments for education, training and skills development of Papua New Guineans and for their certification. Sawang made these remarks when meeting with executives of Total Energies recently.
Minister for Labour and Employment Kesi Sawang recently met with Total Energies executives as part of an engagement plan with different stakeholders for dialogue and cooperation to improve labor market outcomes and deliver on the targets set in the medium-term development plan for the petroleum and gas industry. The MTDP4 projects the creation of at least 15,000 new jobs. Minister Sawang wanted to understand how Total Energies would contribute to the challenge of increasing number of Papua New Guineans engaged in the second gas project workforce and the opportunities with the EPC contractors for national companies to secure contracts during the construction phase. Minister Sawang would like the extractive industry to recognize the skills uplift of our people and allow for employability in future resource projects and within other sectors of the economy and not just during the construction phase.
Chinese ambassador to Papua New Guinea, Zhang Fenua, said the renewing of the protocol shows the long-standing friendship between China and PNG by enduring the cooperation in the field of healthcare services. He said in 2002, the Chinese government dispatched the first batch to PNG, and over the years, 120 Chinese doctors from 12 medical teams have demonstrated their commitment and dedication.
In 2002, the Chinese government dispatched the first batch of China medical team to PNG. Just like the team leader and Dr. Chen Gang told us, over the past 20 years, more than 100 experts and Chinese doctors have crossed the ocean to come here to demonstrate their commitment and dedications. During this period, they have provided medical consultations and treatments to more than 160,000 patients and performed over 10,000 surgeries. Additionally, they have trained around 9,500 local medical staff and introduced more than 230 new medical technologies.
He said the renewal of the protocol will inject stronger amateur into the China-PNG Medical Corporation, paving the way for more extensive cooperation in building a shared community of health. CEO for Port Moresby General Hospital, Dr. Paki Molumi, said the hospital provide specialist healthcare services but lack human resources.
Human resource in health, we have a very aging workforce, and there's a huge demand for health workforce in the country, especially for Port Moresby General Hospital in the specialized health care. So we need to tend to our partners to come and assist us in those. And China has been one of those very important partners over the last 20 years.
Dr. Molumi said the partnership between China and PNG strengthened the continuous support for specialist medical services to the people of PNG. The Health Secretary, Dr. Osbo Liko, thanked the people of China for the continuous support of manpower and expertise.
We are very thankful for People's Republic of China and the government of China through His Excellency, the Ambassador and Chinese Embassy here, to continue to support us in the manpower that we have from Chinese medical team.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Today, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III engaged in crucial meetings with Prime Minister James Marape and other key officials as they delved into strengthening bilateral ties and addressing security challenges in the Indo-Pacific region. The meeting was also attended by Minister for Defense Win Bakri-Daki, Secretary for Defense Harry John Akipe, and Chief of Defense Force Major General Mark Goyner, collectively known as the PNG Defense Council. The U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III met with Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister James Marape in an effort to enhance security cooperation between the two nations and tackle shared challenges in the Indo-Pacific. Discussions primarily centered around the recently signed U.S. Papua New Guinea Defense Cooperation Agreement. This agreement aims to bolster defense ties and promote increased exercise cooperation between the United States and PNG.
He's indicated to us in the meeting upstairs that in around September a visit would be made by people from the U.S. Defense in looking at key infrastructures development in our country. Starting with Lae, their presence will be in Lae, and what is designated to be a strong U.S. base in respect to disaster management and operations in our country.
Additionally, the leaders addressed the agreement concerning counter-illicit transnational maritime activity operations, also known as the Shipwrighter Agreement. This agreement aims to combat illegal transnational maritime activities and enhance security in the region. Secretary Austin expressed his appreciation to Prime Minister Marape and the PNG Defense Council for their support of the DCA. He underscored the United States' commitment to implementing the agreement once the ratification process is completed by the Papua New Guinea government.
And I'm very proud to be here as the first U.S. Secretary of Defense to visit Papua New Guinea. Now, the Indo-Pacific is our priority theater, and partnerships like ours are critical to keeping this vital region free and open. So today we discuss several key steps that we've taken in recent months to advance our shared goals, both bilaterally with Papua New Guinea and together with other partners in the region. We're expanding U.S. participation in several exercises with the PNG Defense Force. We've also completed an important shipwrighter agreement that will mean greater cooperation on maritime law enforcement. And this agreement will help us tackle illegal fishing and trafficking in your country's exclusive economic zone.
Both sides had a productive exchange of views on various areas of mutual importance. These included efforts to build capacity for providing humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, improving maritime domain awareness, combating climate change, and addressing the issue of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing in the Indo-Pacific region.
This will now mean that U.S. capacities to partner our defense capacity at our invitation will take place as we work to ramp up Papua New Guinea and U.S. defense engagements. Deep in these engagements lies the economic conversation that my government has been driving. USA and the leadership under President Biden is sensitive to the fact that our economy needs to grow.
Mr. Prime Minister, thanks again for your gracious hospitality, and I look forward to working with you to find ways to do even more together and to build a peaceful and prosperous future for generations to come. Thank you, everyone.
TVWAN News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee Cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame Oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame Oil, winning taste.
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Reese Walsh slices through. Reese Walsh in the air. It's Wale. Lindsay Collins.
Welcome back. The Lae-based St. John Ambulance serves the other districts of Morobe Province as well. Momase Regional Commander Chief Superintendent Anderson Pom appealed to other open members of Morobe to consider a partnership with the emergency medical response provider. Momase Regional Commander Chief Superintendent Anderson Pom outlined that the team from St. John Ambulance work 24 hours a day every week, as long as residents are in need of immediate medical assistance. Apart from the nation's capital, St. John Ambulance is operating in Lae as well, following an agreement that was signed with the Lae City Authority and Morobe Provincial Health Authority in December 2020. During LCA's recent presentation of its annual 500,000 kina, and on top of that, a newly fully kitted ambulance, Pom appealed to the other open members of Morobe Province to consider bringing this much-needed service into the districts as well.
24/7, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock night, or man sleep, nibla si ronet. Mosem so, mitok 10 kilo, and bim nubla garambel, pibla lo. Sambla heavy, lo, pibla lo, na. Saving more people blow late. Na bigat ating ting or sem supposed to play. Member blow won want them. I want to supposed to come on board and help him. If the Prime Minister blow me plan, a member blow late. The LCA na supposed to come on board and help him too. And by alright legally because you know maybe save him later so. Maybe save him what blow won golf na I want them.
The ambulance service is currently operating out of the Lae Fire Station as per an agreement signed with the fire department. This is their temporary base, hence they cannot expand operations until an area is secured for them. Lae MP John Rosso gave the assurance that land will be secured for SJA to establish a permanent base. Residents in Lae City are encouraged to take ownership of the services that have been provided, including the new infrastructure. Lae MP John Rosso said services like that of the St. John Ambulance cost money. The people of Lae need to take care of such service providers. Lae City is moving forward in terms of infrastructural development, economic growth and quality service delivery under the leadership of Lae MP and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso. Rosso outlined that ambulance services, rubbish bins, street lights and classrooms all cost money and are provided for the benefit of people living in Lae.
All these things are not for me to use, it's for the city residents to use. And it is only appropriate that all of us take ownership of our city by looking after those services. You know, looking after the ambulances, looking after the hospitals we built, looking after the street lights that we put up. I encourage that all our people look after the services that are provided by the city, and that also comes with like throwing rubbish. People forget that. It's not the animals that throw rubbish, it's people that throw rubbish. And people just blatantly throw rubbish, and it's costing the city close to 10 million kina every year to clean the city by picking up the rubbish. It would save a whole lot of money if people just use their common sense and put rubbish in the bins.
Rosso also pointed out that bitter chewers lazily spit out of moving vehicles or on the footpath, creating an unhealthy and unhygienic environment. City residents are encouraged to be considerate, pick up their rubbish and stop spitting red bitternut juice on the newly built roads and bridges. The autonomous Bougainville government have signed a memorandum of understanding with the largest insurance company in the South Pacific, Capital Insurance. ABG's Minister for Commerce, Trade and Economic Development and Vice President Patrick Nisira today announced with the signing of a commitment of 100,000 kina from the ABG to Capital Insurance to assist in the establishment of the company in the region. Minister Nisira stated that insurance services ceased in 1989 at the height of the Bougainville conflict, and after 3 decades, Arab will now have access to such services. Capital Insurance CEO Jeremy Norton says the company intends to make available insurance products that will support growth in the SME sector as well as support individuals with insurable assets. The company's physical presence in Arab will provide insurance sales, service, claims and advice. They will also train and develop local bougainvilleans to be the next generation of insurance professionals. And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.28 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2715, $0.3985 Australian dollars, $0.2371 euro, and 37.73 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, and copra closed higher. The rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. Regional news is next. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungimyumi.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Hardware House launches the low-cost quick build kit home, built with quality building materials from the leading manufacturer of steel products and kit homes, Atlas Steel. Going now at introductory prices: 1-bedroom kit home at 79,000 kina, 2-bedroom kit home at 99,900 kina, and 3-bedroom kit home at 125,000 kina. You can also opt for solar units to be installed in the kit home at an extra charge. For more information, email info@hardwarehouse.com.pg.
Get ready for a mouth-watering dive into the wild with Mike Robinson.
Look at that!
Good job. It's the ultimate catch and cook.
I have noticed that you have not gutted it.
I tend not to gut it.
There's so much flavour.
That's stunning, to be fair.
You know, we're enacting what our ancestors did. It's in our DNA to do this.
Fishing the Wild. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. In regional news, the remainder of a pod of 97 pilot whales has been euthanized overnight following a failed rescue mission on Western Australia's south coast. The mass stranding at Chains Beach began near Albany on Tuesday afternoon.
Look, we know that whale strandings are a natural phenomenon,
But we gave it a good go, spending the whole day in the water with those animals to give them the best opportunity. So very hard to see, but this is nature and it's a natural phenomenon.
Weather conditions made it really, really tough. So as you can imagine, here on the southern coast of Western Australia, the water temperatures were freezing, and in fact 2 of the volunteers got hypothermia after spending hours in the water trying to assist the whales, even while wearing full wetsuits. Another rescuer was also injured when they were hit by one of the fins of one of the animals. As you can imagine, they're quite large, and yesterday afternoon a storm rolled in, adding strong winds and rain, so just making a really tough situation even tougher. Today, efforts are focused on, first of all, collecting some samples, including swabs, blood tests, and potentially even organ samples from the deceased animals, to try and provide some answers as to why this might have occurred. Were they sick? And they're also known to be incredibly closely socially connected animals, so were they all related as well, will be another question that scientists will be looking at. And then the next task is moving the bodies of the 97 odd whales which washed up there. They will be buried far from the beach so as not to attract sharks for years to come, but as it stands at the moment, the beach is closed until further notice because of that high risk of sharks.
Solomon Islands Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare has expressed his appreciation for the donation of vehicles by the South Korean government to help support the 2023 Pacific Games, which are due to take place in November in Honiara. A further 26 vehicles are set to arrive later to complete the donation from the Seoul government, equivalent to $1 million. Sogavare explained that the 40 vehicles will help the National Hosting Authority supporting the Games Organizing Committee's transportation and logistics fleet during the Games, where most of the vehicles will be hired domestically. After the Games, the plan is that they will form part of the legacy. Last week, Sogavare criticized delays in promised funding by the Games by Australia and New Zealand, but hailed the contribution of China, which has provided financial backing amounting to approximately 1.85 billion Solomon Island dollars, which includes building a main stadium. The Games are scheduled to open on the 19th of November and continue until 2nd December. The Prime Ministers of Australia and New Zealand are urging Pacific nations to look to them for support in the face of China's pursuit of greater influence in the region.
Escaping the chill of Wellington's windy winter air, local Maori custodians welcome their trans-Tasman guest, the warmest of embraces reserved for the closest of friends.
It's great to be able to formally welcome you here to the New Zealand Parliament.
There are no two countries in the world that are closer than Australia and New Zealand.
2023 marks 50 years since the Trans-Tasman travel arrangement was put in place, allowing freedom of movement between the two countries for their citizens. Relaxing the rules even further, a possibility, just not right now.
We haven't looked at a Trans-Tasman passport. What we are looking at, though, is making a seamless experience.
We've asked that working group to report back by the 30th of June next year.
The leaders' gaze lifting to their neighbours in the Pacific, trying to steer small island states away from China's overtures.
When Australia provides aid and support to our neighbours, there aren't strings attached. We do that because we are part of the Pacific family.
Matters of family closer to home may be difficult issues for friends to discuss.
The referendum in Australia is a matter for the Australian people.
But New Zealand's leader believes his country's own experiences recognising First Nations can be instructive for Australia.
Many people would look back on them and wonder what was so controversial about them, because, the reconciliation process has ultimately been very positive.
The referendum still months away. For now, more immediate concerns.
While the two leaders have been keen to spruik the deep ties between Australia and New Zealand today, nothing symbolises that more at this very moment than the fact that they are co-hosting the FIFA Women's Football World Cup. Anthony Albanese and Chris Hipkins even managing to sit down and share a beer after a day of talks.
I wish you all the best, unless we play each other.
That's right.
A strong bond, only tested by white line fever.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino is set to make a historic visit to the Cook Islands this Friday. The Cook Islands football community is eagerly awaiting the arrival of the head of world football's governing body. This visit marks a historic moment as it will be the first time a FIFA president has touched down on Cook Islands soil. In a statement, Cook Islands Football Association said it hopes that this visit will not be the last and anticipates strengthened ties with FIFA as a result. During his brief 3-hour stay in the Cook Islands, Infantino will meet with government officials before heading to CIFA headquarters to engage with members of the Cook Islands football community. Following his Cook Islands visit, Infantino will continue his tour of Oceania by traveling with his delegation to American Samoa, departing around 12 p.m. Back home, popular New Island artist Jason Suisoi, also known as J-Rex, faced a major setback recently when the Office of Censorship, under the authority of the Chief Censor, imposed a temporary ban on all of his songs on 15th of June 2023. The ban came in response to grave complaints lodged against the artist by his partner of 4 years and her family. But as of today, the temporary ban was uplifted. You're watching TVWAN News. In sports, Lihir Rugby League into round 11 and Hunters ready for Tigers.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain Tamer, when quality counts.
Hey viewers, got a red dish on your roof? You can watch over 80 channels of exclusive NRL, State of Origin, Filipino and Indian drama series, local, international, live news, plus some great international channels on Digicel TV. Get a 20-channel plan for as low as 20 kina for the one-day plan or 80 kina only if you jump in and buy the whole month at once. Want more? Maybe the 40-channel plan is what you need. Buy now for 25 kina for the one-day plan or be brave and go for the whole month, and it's only 105 kina. Want even more? Try the 60-channel plan. It's only 35 kina for the one-day plan, or take the big step and purchase the 30-day plan for only 185 kina. You want the biggest TV plan in PNG, over 80 channels for as little as 40 kina a day for the one-day plan, or take the whole month at once and you could be choosing from over 85 channels with either the Indian or the Filipino channel options as an add-on. Dial *515# to subscribe now. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Sensational, phenomenal, what a goal! Lewandowski, Ribéry on a volley. Oh, that's quality!
Through the Community Grants Program, civil society organizations can apply for grants of up to 50,000 kina, which are focused on delivering development projects in line with our funding priorities. Applications are now open. Applications close in September 2023 at 5 p.m. For more information, visit foundation.digicelpacific.com.
Acknowledge me! Oh, a symbolic spike! With a phenomenal forearm! The women's champion Asuka is in the ring on SmackDown. You're looking at the judge, the jury, and the executioner right now.
Get ready for a mouth-watering dive into the wild with Mike Robinson.
Look at that!
Good job.
Ow!
It's the ultimate catch and cook.
I have noticed that you have not gutted it.
I tend not to gut it.
There's so much flavour.
That's stunning, to be fair.
You know, we're enacting what our ancestors did. It's in our DNA to do this.
Fishing the wild Streaming now on Outdoor.
The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost here.
What a beauty! He's on absolute fire!
Welcome back. The Port Moresby Women's Softball Association has successfully concluded its 2023 Corporate Show Patch softball competition, accumulating in the Ball, Plate and Cup finals this Saturday, July 29 at the Vicini Softball Park. After 2 weekends of the quarter and semi-finals, only 6 teams have qualified for the grand final. This year, 32 teams registered in the 4 pools of 8 teams each, and handed with the top 8 teams challenging for the full category of finals. Teams who finished 5th and 6th and teams who finished 7th and 8th played for the shield. As the games will be competitive, as all companies who made the finals have their own merits. After a 3-year absence, it's worth nothing that Bowls finals, NDB House Money and Cup finalists ExxonMobil have made a successful comeback. Another good story is NBC Kunduz, who show that softball is truly a family sport with 3 generations playing in the Totil family. The Lihir Rugby League competition enters into round 11 of its season proper this weekend, Saturday, 29 of July, with some interesting matches to look forward to. Competition leaders and reigning Lihir Nines champions and Zoo Northern Chiefs are looking to maintain their winning form when they met second place K Flames on Saturday with 4 rounds left before the finals.
The main match of round 11 is ranked as the top-of-the-table clash between competition leaders Anzu Northern Chiefs and second place K Flames is expected to draw a good crowd to the Lihir Rugby League ground this Saturday. The competition has 4 more regulation rounds before the top 4 teams is decided. The competition is sponsored by Newcrest and Nimomar local level government. It has progressed well so far. Apart from the original 6 existing clubs, they have seen the emergence of 2 new clubs this season, namely Pythons, made up of youths from the surrounding Pitslaka area, and young guns all the way from the Tumwapil eastern part of the Lihir Island. Current competition leaders Anzu Northern Chiefs is from the northern edge of Lihir Island and is showcasing a lot of exciting raw talent. President Isaac Kapsa said the league, or Lihir, is slowly but surely improving with the next level of young generation who love and are passionate about rugby league. The president is also pleased with the overwhelming interest from fans and local supporters who come out in numbers every Saturday to watch the games. Co-sponsor and Vice President of the Nimomar local level government, Sebastian Siandodo, speaking after their meeting with the PNG Hunters team during the recent Lihir tour, praised the new league executive for their initiative, vision and commitment to making sure the games continue to run. The Vice President also highlighted the importance of having pathways for their young local boys and girls to progress to the next level.
Ikam lawan belakang because Lihir di rugby league no sport belum lalu ya. So kan all belakang games me belum playing but time all young people start initiating selalu gluk na bring him this competition kami say give him sila kind opening o lo me bla you must give him support long. So every year in and out me bla continue support him competition Long Island but what bla major factor we me bla say look him we want to see looking at picking me play all sport all online play league lawyer only must venture go out also at least all go play no diesel car or play no gurias na go anta plantas that's the pathway and no missing long.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The PNG Hunters look to return to the winners' cycle when they face the Brisbane Tigers in round 19 of the Oz Plus Cup. 2 p.m. Sunday, July 30 at Totally Wekwe Stadium, Brisbane. It's been almost 3 weeks since we last saw the Hunters in action, following a bye in round 18 and a break in the QRL Ost Plus Cup competition last weekend. These two clubs last met in round 3 earlier this season when Church Tigers snuck away with a 2-point victory. Hunters will be desperate to make amends for that narrow loss this weekend. After the team's training today, PNG Hunters coach Stanley Tepan said the focus this week is to stick to the winning formula and game plan to challenge a hidden and experienced Tigers forward pack this weekend.
I think he'll be really looking forward to this game. I'm sure he's marked it several times on his calendar. But it's good. I think our last 3 weeks, especially our last 3 weeks, I think we've been getting better and better, and we haven't really focused on the Tigers. I think we've just focused on trying to do what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks, which is staying in that grind, going set for set. I feel as though if you watch the last 3 weeks, going set for set, when we do that, we put ourselves in a really good chance to win a game.
At Curry United FC and Ley City FC, two powerhouse football clubs in Papua New Guinea are set to face off once again in a highly anticipated grand final rematch this weekend in Ley. This match will not only showcase the immense talent and skills of these two teams, but it will reignite the fearless rivalry that exists between both teams in recent years. With a successful history and a strong fan base behind each team, the grand final rematch promises to be a thrilling and intense encounter that will have fans on the edge of their seats. Reigning championship Ley City FC will be looking to assert their dominance and solidify their position as the top team in Papua New Guinea. On the other hand, Curry United FC will be hedged to redeem themselves and prove that they are capable of drowning Ley City FC. The stage is set for an epic battle of skill, strategy, and determination. The Matildas game against Nigeria isn't the only big World Cup game tonight. The USA is facing the Netherlands in a rematch of the 2019 final.
The atmosphere is fantastic. We've got the crowds pouring in to the Cake Tin behind me, as they call it here in Te Whanganui Atara, Wellington. Holds about 32,000 people, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's full. There's been a huge number of US people here, US supporters coming here who've come from the States. You're hearing US accents all over the city, but also a fair smattering of the Dutch supporters as well. But there's no question the US supporters are outnumbering the Dutch. And as you said before, a 2019 World Cup final rematch. So there's so much on the line here. The US, of course, won that game 2-0. Rose Lavelle was the star. She spoke to a press conference yesterday and said that she's just here to have fun. She's not been named in the lineup, but she did play the earlier game that US played against Vietnam, and so she will come on and she's going to electrify the game. She's one of the great stars of world football. But yeah, there's so much at stake. The USA had a 3-0 win over Vietnam earlier in the tournament, and the Netherlands put Portugal away 1-0, but it wasn't convincing by either side. So this is going to be a real step up for both teams. They obviously want to get the psychological edge. They're not really thinking about the last World Cup final. That was 4 years ago and this is now. But they definitely want to sort of do what they can to get on top of their group, and any win will gain a huge psychological edge for this tournament. And Gemma, there's one other game happening today in New Zealand at Kirikiriwa, Hamilton. That's between Portugal and Vietnam. But really, it's all about this game with the crowds coming in. A huge expectation around what will be one of the matches of the tournament. So Canada, of course, is the Olympic champion, but they had that 0-0 draw against Nigeria in their first game. So they banked a win 2-1 against Ireland, which puts them on top of the group, the same group that the Matildas are in. They're on 4 points and the Matildas 3 points with that game to play against Nigeria. But I just think for the Canadians, important to get a win and get a bit of confidence, because obviously, as the Olympic champions, they are probably one of the favourites for this tournament, so they really needed to get off the mark, and they did.
And here is the weather for the next 24 hours.
And that's been another edition of TV1 News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.